All right, goal of today is to really dial down this ELDX load and also get some CXs going. I did want to shoot the very last 4 bullets, those Winchester copper impacts. And there's those 4. About a 2-inch group, Sayonara Winchester copper impacts. Probably a just fine bullet to kill deer with, but not what I'm looking for, not as accurate as I want. Now I got the brass. Now I've got 4 left of my original 145 ELDXs with the 57.2 grains. And they seemed anemic on velocity the other day, so I'm gonna shoot them last 4, and I've already loaded up some more with 58.2 grains. See if I can get a boost in velocity. All right, I shot the last 4 rounds of my original custom load with the 57.2 grains. That's 2 in the same hole. There's that one. Here's this one. I felt like I pulled that one, but doesn't everybody say that? But I actually did. But anyway, that's about a little over an inch group, 1.5 inches, and then take out that one. Is pretty good. Here's the crazy thing. When I originally shot those, they were around 3,010 average feet per second. And then a couple days ago, I shot them and they were like 2860. And I thought, what in the world? That's why I'm out here today. I put a grain more powder in this next 3 I'm going to shoot. But today they were more like 2980. In 2 days difference, a group had an average velocity of around 2860, and then 2 days later 2980. So it was 20 degrees colder a couple days ago. It's the only thing I can think of. And I know IMR 4350 is not like one of the most stable powders, but I didn't think it was that bad. If you have any experience with the 4350 being very weather sensitive, please let me know in the comments. All right, same exact thing, but 58.2 grains of IMR 4350. Let's see what happens. Good news is, pretty good group there. About an inch group, about a minute of angle group. Those 2 are right in the bullseye almost and touching, but that one's a little low, but still minute of angle group. Interesting thing is, grain more powder, I only got about 30 to 40 feet per second average better, so it's about 30-30 on the feet per second. So I think I'm gonna add another half grain. I would say muzzle velocity average around 30-70 on that. So about 40 feet per second faster than the last one by going up about a half grain. And it's not quite as tight as that group was. It's probably an inch. About minute of angle, maybe just outside. All right, this is my latest group, probably 1.5 inches, maybe a little 1.25 inch group. Standard deviation was back down to where I like it. It was around 10. Extreme spread was 15. I am over max, so I do not recommend anyone do this. Don't think because it worked for my gun, it'll work for yours. Please go by the book, velocities, and published numbers. But I am at 59.2 grains with 145 grain ELDX, and extreme spread and standard deviation were pretty good. All right, there's my latest group, 59.7 grains of IMR 4350. Once again, be smart. Your gun is not my gun. Go by book, published velocities. 57.7, 58.2, 58.7, 59.2, 59.7. On to the 130 grain CXs. Starting load at 59 grains of IMR 4350, and we did about a 50 thousandths jump from the lands. I know most copper bullet manufacturers will go with that. Actually, it was probably end up being about 45 thousandths off the land. So there we go. Muzzle velocity average was about, let's say 31.75. That is a 3-shot group. 2 shots right there, that same hole, And then that shot, that's with 59.5 grains of IMR, 4350, and getting around 3250 on the feet per second. Pretty darn good. Hopefully you can see this, it's not too dark. This right here is from a 30-06 from someone else. That's my last 3-shot group. That I was aiming right there. That is 60 grains of IMR 4350. And doggone it, it got too dark and the chronograph wouldn't work. So I don't know what it is. I was gonna shoot this one, and if it looked okay, I was gonna go 1/2 grain higher. See if I could definitely get over 3,300, but that group is pretty impressive. There it is, 145 grain ELDX. So just to recap, these groups are all 1 inch to 1.5 inches. None of them are that fantastic. This one was going the fastest because I had the most powder, but I backed up and chose this one mainly because the standard deviation was 10 and the extreme spread was 15. I'll just tell you on this round, it's basically touching the lands. Not literally, it's like 4, maybe 5 thousandths off the, from like being jammed. And I'm just gonna keep it that way for now, but I can maybe revisit it later and maybe start to incrementally push it off the lands and try and tighten the groups up. But basically just under 3,100 feet per second, around 3088 was the average velocity. But like I said, standard deviation and extreme spread were pretty good. So for now, that is my load that I'm going to stick with 145 grain ELDX. Okay, like I said, it got dark on me. I did not have time to do a whole lot, but that's about where the CX is at. So it's actually going down in the case quite a bit, and that's because I went with that recommendation of 50 thousandths off the lands for a Barnes or a copper type bullet. Ended up being about 45 off the lands. 59 grains, 59.5, and then 60 grains. All these groups were like, well, that one's probably 1 inch, actually an inch and a quarter. That one's about 3/4 inch group, and that one's about 3/4 inch group, maybe 1/2 inch. So this one did fine. That one had a pretty good extreme spread. Not as good as the ELDXs, but it was pretty good, and pretty good velocity of 3250 was the average. And I'm pretty impressed with the group. Those two are in the same holes, and then that one there. So, and then decided to go up just a little bit more. That technically that is max, right? And the group is basically the same, but dadgummit, the stinking, it was just too dark and the chronograph wouldn't work. So here in a few days, I'm going to go back out and shoot it and figure out what that velocity is. And because I have to know, I think it's going to be about 3,300 feet per second. All right, just to give you kind of, for instance, this is 270 Short Mag. This is Hornady's most recent reloading manual. Now, they don't have the CX in here. They have the GMX, so it could be different. But look what it's showing. For IMR 4350, it's showing maxing out at 60 grains, and you're going to end up about 3,100. I'm just telling you, I got 3250 with 59.5 grains and a 3/4 inch group. And like I said, I did shoot a 60 grain group, which was also 3/4 inch MOA group, but without the, I don't know the velocity, but I'm guessing at least 3275, if not 3,300. So unless the GMX is just a lot different than the CX, I'm way outperforming what this book shows. So my 270 Short Mag loves the Hornady CX bullets. All right, so guys, I know the lighting is terrible in here and everything, but hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely want to know what the velocity was on those 60 grains. And that 270 Short Mag was breathing fire all day long. And I'm just going to keep feeding it until it tells me to stop. I didn't get a 270 Short Mag to get 270 velocities, so I want to see how fast I can get it to going, especially with that CX bullet. You know, you want a copper bullet to go as fast as possible for good expansion. And, you know, it's not like an ELDM or ELDX or an AMAX bullet. It is meant for hunting. And so my plan next year, next deer season, is to hunt with the CX bullets, 130 grain CXs. So pretty impressed with it. Gun is now clean. I've even put some copper solvent down it. It worked hard today. I shot a lot of bullets, but pretty fun day. But yeah, big fan of the CX bullets so far. They're well outperforming what I was expecting. Take care.